So, if you're a content creator like me, you know how painful editing can be, especially cutting out silences. So, I found a solution that's free, it's customizable, and it doesn't mess with your video or audio quality. So, listen in, especially the tech savvy coders out there. This tool is going to be for you. Hi everyone, I'm Maria Kay. Yes, this video is a little bit out of the ordinary, but I know that it will be super valuable for all video creators, especially on YouTube, who like to yap and have a lot of silences that I need to cut out. So here's the problem. I know how long it takes to manually cut out silences, and it's the most tedious and mindless and frustrating work, especially for videos that go over 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You end up spending like half an hour just cutting out silences, and it's not the most appealing kind of editing. Number two, when I tried to look at alternatives to automate this process, I came across a lot of AI tools online, but those are expensive. Most of them like charge you per video, and because of the nature of AI, they compress your footage. So not only was it expensive, but also the output of the video was going to be compressed and maybe sometimes faulty, and I couldn't cut that out. So the next alternative I tried to look for was automating this process. So I came across a lot of AI tools, but those were all expensive, and most of them I couldn't even try. And most of them were actually like a black box, and I couldn't come in and customize. Let's say I want to put a buffer before and after the silences so it's not too choppy, or sometimes it can make errors in the cutting, and that black box was just not appealing. So I looked at free options online. So naturally I came across a lot of GitHub repositories, but also like that code was completely ununderstandable to me, which made it very difficult to customize if I wanted to add a buffer before and after my silences, which was a pretty big, or they compromised on the video quality or the audio quality. And it was just taking an absurd amount of time for me to actually understand what was going on behind the code for me to go in and try and edit it. And I wasted hours on that. So finally, I came across this solution. It's an open source repo, and I tweaked it to fit my need. Here's how it works. So number one, it's free, and it's customizable, so I can add a buffer before and after silences if I wanted to. I could adjust what level of silence is considered a silence. For example, if there's a lot of background noise and I wanted to be more aggressive with the barrier for noise, I could manually select that, and it keeps the original video and audio quality. Let me show you how it works. So welcome to my lovely computer. This is the original GitHub repo that I forked from, and this here is my modified code. So let me just walk you through what's going on. Okay, so this is my VS code, and let me explain how you're going to go about doing this. So this is the original Science Cutter Python file, and scrolling down to the bottom will be the main function. So what you can do is edit like the threshold dB. You can play around with this. The higher it is, the less sensitive it's going to be to noises. That's how I understood it. So basically I'm playing around between -25 and 20 in my personal videos, but you can try it for whatever level suits you. The original creator created a very helpful like explanation for the dB scale. So yeah, you can change the noise level, and this is the buffer. So for me, I didn't like it that it jumped. It was quite choppy, so I added a buffer of 0.2 seconds before and after each silence so that to make it a bit more natural, the cuts. It might prompt you to download the FFmpeg library and FFprobe library. That's really easy, but it's different for Mac and Windows, so look up the way to do it for your device. And then what you're going to do is state the Python version and then the script name. And then what you're going to do is look for your video file that you want to cut. For example, I want this video file here. What I'll do is select it, right-click it, and just copy the path name, and then copy it into the terminal. And what that's going to do is run the file for me, basically. And there you go. I ran it, and it's just going to run in the background now. It's going to take roughly 5 to 10 minutes to do. It's pretty intensive. And then what will happen, okay, right now it's just downloading from OneDrive, but you'll find the edited file in the same folder. that your original video was found. Okay, and one last thing I'd like to point out, if you do want to download it yourself, if you're familiar with how GitHub works, this is the repo, my version. I'll just explain it to you. What you'll do is go to code and copy this, and then you're just going to paste it into your terminal, and that should clone the GitHub repository into your local computer folder. But as I said, like, I'm working on a more user-friendly tool, and if any of that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll explain some next steps. Thanks to the original creator of this Python GitHub repo, Lifesaver. But as you can see, like, it's running on the first version of this recording. I'll just show you what it looks like. So that's all really. If it feels too technical, I totally understand. I'm working on a simpler version that's more user-friendly, or it has a more user-friendly interface. So if you're interested in that, then go down below in the description. There will be a link that you can click to register your interest, to join the waitlist, or comment below if you're actually interested. I don't know if anyone's going to be interested in this, but yeah. So it's free. You might as well give it a go. I will link the GitHub repo for the original code and my edited code down below. So please, I would ask you to comment if you would actually use this tool. Like and subscribe for more videos like this, or more tips for creator content, for example. But on my channel, I create a lot of lifestyle, productivity, self-help in everything from uni, career, or just a young person's life. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, then please do subscribe. Oh, and if you're interested, make sure to join the waitlist. There will be a link for that also down. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!